Hey, what's going on, crew? Welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor, if you're brand new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon. Also hit the like button on your way in. If you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. I'm gonna get right back with you. Alright guys, so today we're going to be taking a look at a gaming test for the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8, and you can now get this model in the 3 GB of RAM with the 32, or the 4 GB with the 64, or the 4 with the 128, right? And so you're going to be able to get these in a lot of configurations. So I have the 3 with the 32, and it's actually a pretty decent tablet, but the only thing is that you can only download like 3 games at a time, and you know the storage will show that it's almost full after that point if you have all your other apps on here. So just want to mention that. But you do have the option to actually go down into the settings, and they do have an option for gyroscope, so you can actually activate that when you play this with this tablet. So you can also turn on always run or auto running, which is you know, sprint, always sprint. So that's another thing that I like about this game on the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8, right? Because this is going to be the 2020 model. This is the new one that just released, and there's some things that I do like about it. There's also most of the things about this guy is going to be really nice, because it's going to be able to pretty much game without any lag or anything like that noticeably. So it does have some really nice quad speakers on here as well, and Dolby Atmos for surround sound. So I was having a decent time when I was playing Call of Duty Mobile. The graphics did seem pretty sturdy, not sturdy, but like smooth and pretty consistent with the frame rate. So there weren't any like drops in between playing this game. So I didn't have any real major issues when I was using this game or playing this game, because everything pretty much ran smooth for the most part. So I really like that part about it. But besides the quad speakers on here, you're going to be able to get that near bezel-less display. It's actually pretty pretty decent when it comes to the bezels. They're not going to be like bulky or anything. They're not going to be noticeably big. They're actually going to look pretty decently small on the bezel side. So that's one of the things that you will notice. So when you're gaming on here, you have a little bit to hold on to, right? But it's not going to be like you know what I'm saying, like it's not going to get in the way. Basically, the bezels are really good to hold on to, and you know the frame rate on here is 60 hertz. It's got the 60 hertz display, so it's going to be pretty decent when you're gaming on here as well. And you know, there's no notch, it's just straight up equal bezels on all 4 corners. So I did like that part about it. And it's got a 216 for the PPI, 1920 by 1200 for full HD for the resolution. And like I said, I didn't have any issues whatsoever. Just to say the least, this thing was gonna hold up pretty good when you were gaming. So just to say the least, it's pretty decent, because it's pretty decent. It's the A7. I kind of like just the optimization of the Snapdragon when it comes to the A7, because the Snapdragon processing chips tend to be a little bit more optimized and a little bit more supported when it comes to software, right? But you know, the A8, I guess they had a chip shortage when they were making these and putting them in production, and so instead of using the Snapdragon or the Exynos processing chip, they actually used the Unisoc Tiger T618, which is kind of weird, but it's actually a really good performer. It will perform pretty decent and pretty smooth, but I wasn't really that crazy when it came to this game. I wasn't that good when it came to it, because you know I prefer PUBG, but I was able to get first blood. I was able to get the kill on here. I was able to pretty much maneuver through the obstacle course and whatnot. So as far as the graphics, it's going to have the GPU ARM Mali G52 MP2 with the 3 GB coupled with the 32 GB of RAM, and you're also going to get the frequency of 2 GHz, as well as 12 nanometer processing chip, which is going to be pretty decent on here as well. So if you were looking to play Call of Duty Mobile, you wouldn't have any issues whatsoever, because they have the gyroscope, the compass, the accelerometer, They also have the hall sensor on here as well. There's no cooling or gaming buttons or anything, but it's pretty decent. You could also use this with a Bluetooth controller as well. So I like the fact that they do allow that, but I didn't want to use the controller because then someone would probably say in the comments that I was cheating or something. But it's got a pretty decent smooth refresh rate when it comes to this thing, and on PUBG you can actually game with extreme frame rate and like medium graphics, so it was pretty decent. When it came to this one, there wasn't really any noticeable lag or whatever. And this is the 8 versus 8 death match, which is really fun because before I think it was like 3-on-3, but they actually added more players on here, which is cool. So you're gonna have a really decent time when it comes to the smoothness on here. You will be able to compete. You definitely will be able to compete as far as using this thing for gaming and PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile, things of that sort. So just to say the least, the graphics were pretty decent on here. I didn't really run into any headaches or hiccups or belly aches when it came to this thing, but we did get a smooth processing chip. You can run Wi-Fi on here, the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi or the 2.4, right? And as far as the charging, it's got the 15 watts. Android 11 is the software that's backing it with the Samsung's One UI 3.1 still on here. So hopefully we do get the 4.1 eventually on this thing, right? But it's pretty decent. And as far as it being an upgrade from the A7, it's almost like it feels like it's not really like a huge upgrade. It does have a nice design on this thing. I'll get into that in a little bit more detail, but you definitely can compete. You definitely can you can draw blood on here. You definitely can be competitive when it comes to this thing. So it's a pretty decent entry level tablet at 10.5 inches as well. They did have a nice display on here. It's a TFT LCD IPS display, and this thing will come in like 3 different colors. This is the gray color. They also have a rose gold, and it's pretty rare that you'll see the white one ever, but they did state that they're gonna make it in white at some point in time, right? But I don't think it's like available in the white like right away or immediately. But as far as COD mobile, PUBG mobile, you can definitely do really good on here. If you want something with a little bit more power, you can definitely get like the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 FE or like the S6 Lite, right? But they do have, this is pretty decent. It's going to be a little bit more affordable, and I did see it was on sale for like $199 from $250, which is pretty crazy. So they chopped it down a little bit so people can actually cop it and maybe upgrade if you had the A7. But actually, like I said before, the optimization with the Qualcomm chips and the Snapdragon is just in my opinion, I just prefer a Snapdragon processing chip. But the Tiger Unisoc I didn't have any issues with, and like I said, it was a pretty decent performance. It was actually pretty nice. So I did like the build of this guy in the hand. It did feel cold to the touch. You can play all sorts of games. That was playing like this samurai game, which was pretty decent, and I was pretty much able to handle every game with no issues whatsoever, no noticeable lag when I was playing on here. And the animations looked really smooth. The sound quality was really good as well, so that was something that I really did like about this thing when I was gaming on it. The screen does look really good when you tilt it to your face, but then when you lay it flat on the table, you will notice that there's either a glare or there's like it's like it gets a little bit dim. Like it's like not dull, but it gets dimmer like then if you had it tilted to your face. So I just want to throw that out there. And it has a huge battery, 7,040 milliamp hour battery, which is basically identical to the A7. So not a huge upgrade when it comes to this thing, but obviously you will get like 1 more year of updates because it's the newer model. But if you didn't have the A7, this would be a nice option. But if you had the A7, I would probably like stick with the A7 because there's nothing like too crazy about this one that would make you run home to your mother or your father and be like bragging to everybody about it, because this is pretty much the same tablet just in a new body It's got that Unisoc T618 like I said before, and like it's pretty much the bigger screen from 10.4 to 10.5 isn't that noticeable, but it will be a little bit like more colorful is what I did notice. And when I was streaming movies, it did look a little bit more smoother and a little bit more pleasing to the naked eye when it came to like the movement of like everything on the screen. So it was an incremental upgrade, but it wasn't nothing that you would like, you know, you would brag about, right? If you had the A7 and you jump to the A8, so it's nothing to brag about. It's got the same cameras, it's got the same similar performance as well. I actually do like the A7. Just, you know, I kind of would, you know, gravitated towards it more because of the Snapdragon processing chip. But like I said, if you didn't have the A7, then this would definitely be a nice tablet to use. I was able to play Wild Rift on this thing as well, which was cool, and it did look really colorful, really bright. The controls felt really smooth, just to say the least. So I was able to, you know, there wasn't any lag or anything like that when I was playing Wild Rift, just to say the least. So you will notice that it's gonna be really good graphics on here, good colors, good animations, very smooth overall gameplay. So you could definitely have some fun with this guy if you were to choose. I know a lot of people wondering, how does this thing game when you compare it to the A7? It's slightly, it's a little bit better, but it's nothing to brag about. It's not gonna win awards, or it's not gonna win any medals or anything like that. It's not gonna basically not knock your socks off. It's basically going to be a similar tablet, almost the same tablet in my experience. It's just got a nicer design to it. That aluminum frame does feel nice as well, but like I said, the memory on here, you definitely would want to get like the 64 gigabyte model at minimum, because the 32 one, if you're planning on downloading games on it, it's not going to be like lasting you too long. You'll eventually run out of storage within like a day or even 2 days. So that was one of the things that I didn't like. And then another drawback is that you can't move your apps to the SD card. I was wondering why they did that, because the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8 with S Pen and 4G LTE lets you move all the apps to the SD card without any issues whatsoever. But these latest models from Samsung, the Tab A7 and the Tab A8, they kind of took that away. So I'm not sure if they did that for a reason, but just, you know, if you want them to, you know, have portable storage, I would actually like send an email to them so we can get that squared away. Hopefully they send out an update for that, because this thing takes up a lot of storage, 12 gigabytes right out of the box when it comes to the system storage or whatever. And then like my apps were taking up like 10 or 12, so that was like 24 right out of the gun. And then just imagine pictures and videos, like you can only take like 4 videos and then your storage is pretty much filled up. But you know what I mean? Like, this was a pretty decent tablet overall. But if you found this video helpful, every single like helps the channel. So I truly appreciate you for coming through and kicking it with me and staying to the end of the video. Make sure you hit the like button. Like I said, every single like helps the channel, and I'm going to get right back with you. I'll check you guys later. Peace.